Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our second episode of our new Syracuse Opera Coffee House series. And again, we would love to thank our hosts, the Onondaga Community College, graciously, and Dr. David Rudari graciously hosting us. So thank you so much for that. And today we are here with Michael Aiello and our famous by now Dan Sato, our pianist.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Aiello. This is Dandini's entrance aria from La Cenerentola by Rossini. Dandini is the prince's servant, and he's just come into Cenerentola's house acting as the prince, dressed as the prince, and he's been waiting his entire life to do this, so he's ecstatic. And he's disguised as the prince, so the prince himself can be disguised as his servant and see how, if he can find his true love in this household.
Che
Michael, the first installment, was our guest was Jessica Best, who I know very well because we work in Cadiz. But I am meeting you today.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I'll put you on the spot and I'll ask you a little bit to tell us your story. You sang beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, my pleasure.
And you live in Rochester.
I do, yeah. I'm currently going to Eastman right now, getting my doctorate there. I've got 1 year left, and then hopefully getting a job somewhere.
Right.
So hopefully, when all this stuff is passed, there'll be jobs again.
But hopefully soon we're going to be able to have production here, and so we'll hopefully have a production all together.
Yes, that'd be fantastic.
So you are from Buffalo?
I am originally, from Buffalo.
Right.
I did my undergrad at SUNY Fredonia, and then I moved out to Colorado for a few years. Lived in Houston, lived in San Diego, lived in Salt Lake City.
Whoa, hold on. Okay, first of all, Fredonia we have in common, as I told you earlier, because I spent 1 year there, and I must tell you, I love this area of the country.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I love snow, but it's also about the people. Yeah, I know it's but there's something special about the people.
Yeah.
There's very down to earth, but very warm. Mm-hmm. And Buffalo is such a special city.
It's very different now than when I was growing up there. I grew up in a suburb of the city, but I haven't gotten back.
I got my first driving license in Tonawanda.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Is that a suburb of Buffalo?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah, exactly. So, and then you went, then you went to Colorado.
Colorado for grad school.
Where in Colorado?
Boulder, Colorado.
Oh my God! I knew. That's why I said whoa, because my hobby, I'm a rock climber.
Oh wow.
And one of my best friends and climbing partner lives in Boulder. So I climbed at the spot at El Dorado Canyon. What a wonderful place.
You climb with gear, hopefully?
Yes, I don't free solo.
Okay, good.
I don't free solo. And you guys, of course, are just meeting today.
Oh yeah. I think the beauty of my job is that the pianists are the most musically promiscuous of the bunch. We get to play with every sort of person, every sort of instrumentalist, vocalist. And the thing is, I was brought up in just solo performance education, and I never thought that my life would be so rich with playing with other people, and just to be able to come together and play with Michael, and just to get to know him even for this brief time, it's really rewarding for me.
Me as well. It's great. It's great when you have an amazing pianist to play with. Yeah.
It is fascinating to see how two musicians can get together in a very small amount of time and start understanding each other so quickly.
This is I Già Vinta la Causa from Le Nozze di Figaro by Mozart. This comes in Act 3 of the opera. Susanna and the Count have just had a little meeting in his office, and she promises to meet him later that evening, and just as she's exiting the scene, he hears her say, I Già Vinta la Causa, which means we've already won the case, and he just realized that he is being played like a joke. He's been played. Hai già vinta la causa, cosa sento? In qual atto io cadea? Io voglio di tal modo punirvi. A piacer mio la sentenza sarà.
So you did Hai già vinta la causa, you performed,
Yep.
and then Come un'ape.
Mm-hmm.
So, any favorite?
I mean, they're so different, I
Yeah.
guess, you know. I mean, and the funny thing is that they're only separated. These operas are only separated by about 30 years. You know?
Right.
So
It's funny, but in Italy, we say that Rossini is our version of Mozart, actually.
uh-huh.
So for us, there is more in common that meets the ears of the rest of the world, because there's this little engine that Rossini always has.
Uh-huh.
You know, this rhythmical engine. And
Yeah.
it could be even ta ta ta, but in our minds, like taka tika taka tika taka tika. That is a little bit similar to how Mozart thinking again with this always this little engine. Do you find any commonality in playing Rossini and Mozart?
Oh yes, I mean, on a fundamental level, yes. I was just going to say, you know, our first collaboration was with the Così
Right.
last season, and I remember, you know, it's a really stock prescription of things to say to a student when they play Mozart, you know, especially if you're a pianist. Oh yeah, you have to think like an opera, and when you're a kid, you just have no idea what that's supposed to. What's supposed to mean? Like, okay, I guess I'll go listen to some. But then
opera
until you've really played through a score, until you've really communicated with the maestro and the soloist or the chorus even, and to understand how the voices come together, how the instruments are informing and creating the environment of the mood, and kind of in defense of what the Rossini's orchestra does.
defense. I love that too.
I would just say that, you know, the little really basic kind of figuration. I would imagine what would happen if it weren't there. and
You know, it's interesting you say that.
because let's say I was a really terrible pianist. I mean, just like one step further from where I'm now, and I just kind of reacted to the score in a really superficial kind of way, as opposed to at least thinking, maybe the heartbeat of the music. What could it infer, or what could the singer create out of that?
Right. So, do you have an inclination? Do you like? There are some singers that love concert work, and some singers that think of on the other extreme, that think of themselves as actors. That
Yeah.
I mean, are you particularly attracted to the performance on stage, or do you like the music?
Yeah, I mean, I love entertaining people. I love.
You like entertaining people.
Yeah. I love.
You are a singer, right?
I love being on stage, and I love being in the production, and of course, the music goes hand in hand with that.
Right.
But I think that just being in a production, being able to move around and act with other people, and not have all the focus on you all the time, but share it with your castmates is.
It's nice for you to say that. Yeah, he had to say that. It
And
doesn't
then-
really
no,
mean
no.
it. Yeah, I'm kidding.
It's just it creates a great camaraderie and just a really great energy.
It's interesting because I think I just got an idea about the why singers and instrumental players tend never to mix. In school, I don't know if it's your experience too, but in school in Bloomington,
Yes.
there were two different schools of music.
Yes.
The instrumental players and the singers. Now, when the instrumental players want to have fun, they go to singers' parties. So that's okay. But they are not, they just visiting a different country. Okay. Now, I never, you always wonder whether, and then you think maybe because the singers are such, show business kind of people, but I never thought about it. It's intrinsic in the life of an instrumental player to be alone. Most of the time, I mean, of course, you're looking forward to do chamber music, and stop me whenever you want if I say something, but I was a violinist. And my first life as a violinist was spent mostly with my violin, which never spoke to me. It was a quiet piece of wood, beautiful, and I suppose as a pianist you have a similar experience. But as singers, when I was in Bloomington, I took a minor in voice, which accomplished nothing because, but at least I could get the feeling, and it's true that it's an eminently social activity. You're constantly interacting on stage and things like this. So maybe there's something to the psychology of these two groups.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, my exposure to vocalists didn't happen until college. But when I was growing up, I used to dance ballet, and that sort of social atmosphere is very similar. In terms of when you're building a production, or when you're communally creating art, and that sort of lightheartedness that occurs because of that social aspect of it. I really realized that I missed it. Once I got to college and I would meet. And my first roommate is now a very successful tenor. His name is Frederick, and he really sort of opened my eyes to what that community is like.
Could offer.
Because it's so easy to, like how you said, we can easily make stereotypes of each group's instrumentalists, and to see him work, in such depth about his roles or his music and his technique, really painted a picture that was entirely different from what I perceived prior to him. ready. So
Thank you so much for helping us with this. This is, we've been trying to figure out how to reach out to our public. Of course, we cannot do it in person, but I appreciate Michael Aiello and Dan Sato for lending us help in still making some music. Wonderful job, sounded great. Thank you guys.
Thanks very much
Thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much. And thank you for listening and watching.